Hi and welcome to Jessie James Beads. Today we're going to be making a cascade drop necklace using leftover beads from any mix that you have available. I have an example of what your bead soup cascade necklace might look like. So for this piece I used Wuthering Heights, an MMBB bead mix. Lots and lots of beads to choose from in there, and I also used some bead caps and spacers. For today's video, I'm going to be using another MMBB box, which is Summit Soiree. I have a particular fondness for ceramic and natural looking beads. So I've created a little selection of beads here from the Summit Soiree mix, but you could just dive in to your box of mixed beads. Now I have chosen to find twos within my stash of beads, but you don't have to match them at all. I'll just show you what we're going to be working with today, which are 6 beads which are paired. I've got 6 of the lighter bead caps just to team with those beads. I've got 2 of the heavier bead caps, 2 of the ceramic beads, and then a further heavy and light bead cap. So we've got choices about how we can position all of these pieces on our design. We're also going to need a small length of chain. Now you could use one of the sections of fancy chain from any chain reaction, but I have a very simple 2 and a bit inch length of round silver colour Belcher chain. We're also going to be using 7 headpins. Now these are very simple disc headpins, but you could use fancy headpins or ball headpins if you prefer. For today's wire, I have a 4-inch length of 18 gauge round wire. This is tarnish resistant silver colourway, but you could use really any wire that you fancied, but 18 gauge is probably best. So to begin with, we're going to decide what bead we want down at the bottom of our bead soup cascade necklace, and what I want to do is to add one of these beautiful ceramic beads down at the base. Now because they have a very large hole, and my head pins are simple small disc head pins, if I was to put that bead directly on, it would simply fall off the bottom, which is where having a stash of these beautiful bead caps from the Jessie James Beads bead mixes comes in handy, because that will now just hold that and stop it from falling through. You can even change the shape of that slightly to get the bead cap, being a finer metal, to fit around that lovely bead. I'm going to add one of the heavier bead caps to the top of the design, just because I like how it looks. We're going to then put a small right angle bend up at the top there, just a short distance away from the exit point from the top of that little stack of beads. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using my memory wire finishing pliers, but you could use any round nose pliers or bail makers. What we're going to do is a very simple wrapped loop all the way around. I've left that really open. Can you see that big gap? So that makes it really easy to add this piece onto the very bottom of our length of chain. Once it's in position, I'm going to close that up just by hand and then create a wrapped loop at the top of that. So once that's in position and I'm not crushing the chain, I'm just going to wrap that tail around the neck of the design, just keeping that firm. Once that sits in position, we can trim away any excess and make sure that that goes into the bin. To finish off your wrapped loop, you will want to ensure that the cut end of wire sits down flush on the core, so it sits smoothly and it doesn't catch on anything. So that's the base of our necklace. What I'm going to do now is to create a series of pieces in exactly the same way as we did, and I'll just share one with you and then I will prepare the other 5. So we're going to use these 6 paired beads to begin with. So I'm going to add on my bead, and again, if it slides off the bottom of my head pin, I have one of the finer bead caps to make sure that that is no longer a problem. So let's see what this bead looks like with a bead cap on. I think that's really charming. So what we're going to do is to pop those pliers across the core wire, turn a right angle, and then create a round form at the top of that little stack in exactly the same way we did with the one at the base of the design. Again, I've made that really open so that it's ever so easy to slide onto the chain. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to repeat that with the other 5 beads, and again, they don't have to be matched if you don't want them to be. The joy of a design like this bead soup cascade necklace at Jessie James Beads is that you can use any beads that you have in your bead soup collection. So I've added each of my pairs of beads with their little bead caps to those head pins, and I've created a ready to close up wrapped loop up at the top of them. So here's the first one, and what I think I'm going to do today is to follow the plan that I made with the demonstration piece, which is to repeat a pattern of 3 different beads. So there's the smoky coloured one, which is a briolette cut, and then we've got a rondelle in that peachy morganite colour, and then we've got a perfect round. So I'm going to repeat that, but because it's 3 in the pattern, it will then switch sides and repeat on the opposite side. So you get the same bead only once on each side of the pattern. However, you can make a complete jumble if you prefer. So we have our long drop of chain, and what I'm going to do is take a quick look at this, and the lowest chain link, I'm holding it so that it sits flat to the board. I'm going to miss the ring, which is facing at 90 degrees opposite, and then I'm going to attach into the 3rd link from the bottom. So that first bead is in link number 1. We're ignoring link number 2, and into link number 3 on the right hand side, I'm going to slide this loop. Once that's slid down into position, I'm just going to support across with my chain nose pliers and bring that tail of wire all the way around to fill the gap. So as long as you've got space for sort of 2 wraps, that will be nice and strong. So once you've got that second wrap into position, I'm just going to push that bead cap down firmly. We're going to trim away any excess. That's gone goodness knows where. Let's pick that up before the dog comes in. And then what I'm going to do now is to make sure that that cut end of wire is pushed down onto the core of that head pin so that it can't catch on anything. So if we drop this back down to the board now, we've got the link down at the bottom, we've got an empty link, and then on the 3rd link from the bottom, we have a bead attached on the right hand side. Now you don't have to follow the same protocol if you don't want to, but what I'm going to do is to just pick the chain up, take a really good look at it, make sure that the first bead, let me just get my hand out of the light, make sure that the first bead is on the right hand side, ignore the chain link number 4, and then into the left hand side of the 5th chain link, I'm going to add in my next bead. So as long as you get that end posted in, then you can drop the chain down and it can do whatever it wants to for now because you know it's in the correct position. If I grip across that round form and just bring that tail of wire all the way around again, closing up that head pin, we've got 2 good wraps, and with this bead I squished that bead cap until it fitted perfectly around the top of this rondelle bead. So it looks slightly different on that lovely briolette cut as it does on the rondelle, and then again we're going to trim away any excess, making sure that it goes out of harm's way. And again, you'll get bored of hearing me say this, but make sure that tail of wire is tucked away neatly so that it can't get caught on clothes or skin. So if we take a closer look at the order of chain links now, the bottommost chain link has the lowest bead, and then we skip number 2, number 3 has a bead on the right, we skip number 4, number 5 has a bead on the left, so you've probably guessed it, we're going to skip number 6 and add a bead onto the right hand side of number 7. So let's just make sure that that is indeed the correct side. Once you've got that chain held in position and you've got the link pushed down onto the correct side of the chain, you can drop the chain and not worry about it. Let's grip across that loop and then bring that tail all the way around. And again, for this round bead, I squished this beautiful lightweight filigree bead cap so that it form fits for that particular bead. They are delightful to work with. For every type of bead cap that we have available at Jessie James Beads, there are multiple jobs that those will do. So let's again ensure that the tail is pushed down against the core of the head pin, and that is all neat and tidy. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure, give that a bit of a jiggle, make sure that everything is sitting where it ought to be. I'm going to skip the next link and add my next bead onto the right. Skip a link, add a bead to the left, skip a link, add a bead to the right. And by the time we get to the top, they will cascade beautifully. So I will finish those last 3 beads off and join you back in just a moment. Once you've got your little cascade of beads attached to that chain, we're ready to add in a hanging loop or bail up at the top of that length of chain. So I have a 4-inch length of that 18 gauge silver colour wire, and this is round silver medium temper non-tarnish. Around about 1.25 inches from one end, we're going to put on a right angle bend like so, and then I'm going to use my memory wire pliers again to create a small loop shape. I'm going to use the 2mm or smaller pin. Bring that wire all the way around, and again you can see that I've left a little bit of a gap so that it's really easy just to slide in the top link in that length of chain at the top of our cascade. So just push that until it sits in position, making sure that your residual wire is nice and straight. So we're going to wrap around that core wire with the tail, and I'm going to just do this quite slowly to make sure that it is all under control and nice and tight. If you do have any little baggy moments in that wrap, what you can do is just compress down like so to tighten that wrap up. So if I flip that over, we're going to trim away any excess wire. Just going to put my finger over the end to stop it pinging away. And as ever, we're going to make sure that that sticky uppy bit, you can just see the shiny end just there, doesn't stick up anymore. So let's smooth that down. Now I did have a spare bead cap in case I wanted one underneath as well as on top of the bead. Let's see what it looks like without. Because it's got such a large hole in the centre of this bead, that sits really beautifully partially over the top of my wrap. So I'm going to forego the second bead cap and only have one over the top of my bead. I think that looks really charming, but you can obviously play around with this design to your heart's content. It is designed to be using up your bead stash. Once you've got your design all ready to go, what we're going to do is to hold across that core wire and bring that forwards, leaving a small gap so that we can wrap a couple of times. If I just rotate that in the light, you'll see that angle. It's not quite 90 degrees, but it's close enough. I'm going to use my multi-step bail makers this time to make a nice large bail so that I can thread my cascade pendant onto any threading material. I think we're going to use number 4 on those bail makers. Bring that wire all the way around one more time. So really the only wire working technique we're looking at today is how to generate a tidy wrapped loop. So let's close that up. Bring the tail of wire around. I'm pinching quite firmly across that round form to ensure that I don't squish that wire out of shape or accidentally pull too much of this wire down into the wrap. So once that is firmly connected, I'm going to trim away any excess and again, just tidy up that last little wrap to make sure that nothing sticks out. So here we have our second bead soup cascade necklace. So this one is made with Summit Soiree, and the first demonstration piece was made with Wuthering Heights. These are both magical mystery bead boxes, which you can check out at the website to see if there are any still available. But this is a bead soup project, but you can use any Jessie James beads for this lovely project. Thanks so much for watching today. This is Jessie James Beads. My name is Jem. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.